Good morning, my friends. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday here for me. We got this bad boy on again. And after I give my intro, I am 1000% going to make sure that it's working this time. But for those of you who took my class last week without this mic helping out, I know that audio was not fun to truck through. So I appreciate the views I did get and the likes I did get. Um, and it's one of my favorite ways to like move and groove when you find a moving meditation like that. So I'm hopeful that the cues did help you find a good, fulfilling class. But then I'm also hopeful that you were able to kind of move a little bit more intuitive with the volume, with the audio, with everything that was going on. Um, so we should be in the clear now. I am super stoked to use this for you guys, just to have a little bit more crisp audio, right? Okay, I double, triple, quadruple checked this mic, and like we're back in action. We should be good to go. But this class will only be like 20, 25 minutes, so I won't just, fully send it with a 45-minute class, assuming that this mic is working. Um, but yeah, anyway, so thank you for taking my classes. Thank you for sharing them. Thank you for your feedback. I definitely appreciate it. And we're only growing this thing to bigger and better courses and bigger and better classes with more instructors, more community, more everything. So definitely want to get the nitty and gritty out while we can, so we can produce uh, videos and classes and courses that you are worthy of, right? So today, I was thinking, drinking my morning coffee today. Um, Shit's been wild. Life's been a little crazy. I feel like everyone watching this right now, they're like, oh, yep, yep, yep. Like, we all, like, get it to some extent. Just, I explained it last night to a friend, actually. I feel like we're all, like, sitting on this roller coaster and, like, we're waiting for it to go, waiting for it to go. And it's going so slow up, like, the mountain to get to the top before we just come down and, like, hopefully release all this BS that's been going on. But it feels as though we have a few more days, maybe a week or so, maybe a couple more weeks of going up this hill before we can kind of let it all go. And I hope once we go down that hill, we all have just a collective scream and we all just feel 10 times lighter? So, with that being said, with Mercury retrograde, you hate it, you love it, you believe in it, you don't believe in it. I've drank the Kool-Aid, I somewhat believe in it. So, I feel like I've been heavier myself as well, and things have come up in my life as well that I'm like, okay, of course this is the time that this added lesson would enter my life right now. So anyways, with all that being said, I just thought it'd be really nice to cultivate a grounding energy, a calm energy, a piece of clarity, maybe we could call it. There's a few different ways that this can go, but I decided to focus on more of a grounding energy for the retrograde, so you can get into these poses that are meant to provide you some ease, provide you or make you have more focus on them. So we will balance a little bit too, and it's going to require you to be all in. And hopefully, once class is over, you can leave some crap on your mat and start the day, start the evening, start the afternoon, start the weekend a little bit more fresh. Yeah? I don't know. Sounds good when I'm saying it out loud, so I think we're still going to do it. But with that being said, if you don't have 2 blocks, that's definitely okay. So with it being 20 minutes, I like to make sure we open up what we can just so you have that new space when you or when you leave your mat rather. So I'm going to have the blocks kind of help us out with doing that. So put a block at the back of your mat. Actually, not yet. Just grab 2 blocks. We'll use them to start with a warm up, but then after the warm up, we'll move one to the back of our mat and then one to the front of our mat too. And like I already just said, if you don't have blocks, that's totally okay. Just kind of ignore me when I'm cueing them. But if you are practicing yoga and you are intrigued at the practice of yoga, I think buying blocks is a beautiful investment for your practice if you're not sure what to invest in, if you do want to invest in anything. And those are always questions and conversations I'm more than happy to have with any of you if you have those questions for me too. Okay, let's get started. Like I said, we're going to use the blocks to start class. And you might have blocks and remove them sooner than you see me remove them on the screen if that's your preference too. But we're going to get started in butterfly pose. So butterfly pose, your feet come together and your knees go out nice and wide. Depending on just how tight your hips are when you're taking this class, especially if you're taking this class in the morning, your hips are going to be a little bit more tighter than they would be in the afternoon or in the evening because you simply just haven't done as much. So with me teaching this class to you guys in the morning, I like to start with blocks under my knees. I typically do the second setting here. And then when you do situate yourself in this butterfly pose, remember the closer your heels are to your thighs, the more intense the stretch is going to be for the inner groins, the inner thighs. So if you don't like that, if that's not comfortable, that is more than fair. Think bringing your toes closer towards the top of your mat so you're making more of a diamond shape with the legs here. And then once you settle, make sure the blocks are in a comfortable space that you're able to bear some weight on. And then your hands will grab either the inner arches of your feet or you grab your ankles. I like to have something to connect to, so you find a little bend, a little buoyancy in your elbows. You're going to find a breath in, bend the elbows, gaze up. And then as we exhale, we round. So tuck your chin towards your chest and gaze right down towards your belly button. And you're probably seeing now why the blocks can come in handy here to start. So you have more support. We're bringing the ground up to us. And since we'll be here to kind of start class, to warm up class, you have a few moments. So maybe a couple breaths here. And if you want to remove the blocks, you always have that choice as well. But when you do tuck your chin towards your chest, try to unclench your jaw a little bit so you want to relax the face. You might even gently gaze towards your right shoulder, towards your left shoulder, getting any sticky spaces released from the back of your neck. And then eventually stillness comes in as we shut down the eyes, as we let the torso get nice and heavy. With this being our butterfly pose, one of the few poses we encourage a rounding in the spine, so continue to hunch forward, get heavy, and let your elbows rest gently on top of your knees if you have the space to do so. And from here, we'll find 3 steady breaths together to start our practice. And when we find these rounds of breath, I want you to think of sending them to your back body, down to your lower back, your kidneys, your hips, filling up all those spaces here. So start with an exhale, let that go. Now big breath in through your nose. Little pause at your top. And exhale, release. 2 more with me here in your butterfly pose. Big breath in. And exhale, let it go. Nice. We have our last round here together. Breath in. And breath out. Now gently come on up, roll through the spine. Keep your hands connected to your ankles. Allow your eyes to remain shut as you sit up nice and tall and find a breath. Good. Gently release your bind. Bring your hands on the outside of your knees. Kind of close your knees together like you're closing a book. And then hands will come behind you. And I want to windshield wiper the feet here a little bit. So you can already see I kind of heel toe my feet a little bit further away from one another. And then we'll gently let the knees drop towards the left. I want you to look over towards your right shoulder. So keep encouraging the anchoring points that are your knees to go left. And then you might notice that you can subtly roll that right shoulder away from your ear here for a moment. Now inhale back towards center. And exhale, we'll switch those sides right on out. I can't help but say it. I just feel like it's going to be so cool that I finally have this mic and it's working. I feel so professional. I hope it sounds better for you. Now bring it back towards center. And now we'll bring 1 block to the back of our mat and 1 block to the top. And we'll come to a forward fold, not a forward fold yet, we'll come to a tabletop pose. Tabletop pose here for just a moment. So separate all 10 fingers, Hips and knees, they are stacked. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, they are in line with one another. Start moving and grooving through your shoulders here a little bit. So lean some weight forward. Shift your hips back. This will be your freedom to move with our warm-up as well. So when you're ready, you can invite some of those cat-cow poses. You'll drop the belly as you shift your gaze. Find that breath in. And as you find that breath out, straighten your arms, eyes towards the thighs, protract your shoulders. And you just move at a pace that just sounds good. No more, no less. There's no narrative, there's no rhyme, there's no reason. You're just moving, you're connecting, you're being. Allow yourself to warm up. Find some space. Cultivate some space here for a moment. Good. Go ahead and come back towards center. So finding that neutral tabletop pose, I want you to tuck your toes. We're going to have a home on our heels. We call this toe pose. Depending on where you are at right now. So if you're like a level 10, you're freaking out. You're like, this woman really has me putting my weight on my feet. What is she doing? And if you're like Zen level 1, like just kind of in your meditative moment, stay there, find your breath. You might even start leaning back a little bit more. That's going to bring some more intensity to this pose. But if you are just fighting the good fight and you're trying to stay here, I hear you, I see you, I feel you, I've been you. I encourage you, instead of coming completely out of this pose, just shift some weight off of the booty. So shift some weight off of the heels, rather. You can slowly lean your chest forward. And I sometimes like to just invite these little pulses that you see me doing here too. So if this is where you need to stay to find some harmony, to find some sense of calm, stay here, keep doing this. If you're able to sit back a little bit more, if you're able to invite stillness into your space, I want you to be here with me. Now you're going to find a breath in, reach up nice and tall through the arms, through the fingers. And as you exhale, bring it right back through heart center. Now one more add-on we'll do here. Inhale the arms up nice and high. And now as you exhale, bend in cactus. So really try to drive your elbows behind you as you squeeze your shoulder blades together, pushing your chest forward, broadening through your collarbones. Then when you're ready, interlace the hands behind your back, drive your thumbs down so you're finding that opening for the shoulders, a little bit more depth for the chest for 3, 2, tabletop pose on 1, untuck your toes. Nice job. Now from our tabletop pose, we'll find our first downward facing dog. So retuck the toes, hover the knees for 3, for 2, and then down dog on 1. Push those hips back. Now when you find this first downward facing dog, bring a sense of freedom into this space. Notice if you want to shift your hips left and right. Notice if you want to more so focus on just bending your knees, pushing your chest back towards your thighs. Oh my goodness, my view is an upside down fieldy boy falling right asleep. And all we've done today was just go on our little morning walk, and we got a little morning treat, but you know, it's hard out here for the puppers. Right, shake your head out, unclench the jaw. And do not fret, my friends. We're going to revisit this downward facing dog, but I want to get us into a forward fold. So when you're ready, lift up the heels, big breath in. Stay on those tippy toes, walk, walk, walk to the top of your mat. Feel that weight shift into your torso. Encourage that shift, encourage that strength here. And then eventually, heels will land. Hands will catch opposite elbows, finding your ragdoll pose. And when you find this ragdoll pose, don't look at me because I'm not doing it, but when you find this ragdoll pose, be here. Crown of the head is nice and heavy. The class I recorded last week for you guys, when the mic just did not work, I was speaking a lot about our Joshua Tree yoga retreat. And we do a, still in your forward fold, by the way, we do a yoga 101 that leads into like an inversion 101 class, just depending on your level of experience, what you want to incorporate into your practice. But anyways,
Everyone laughed at me because one of my icks in yoga is when people don't bend their knees. When you find a forward fold, you want your tummy and thigh to almost meet. So you invite a bend in your knees, allowing the torso to get a little bit heavier. Seems like everyone's like scared to like encourage this movement. Like our knees bend for a reason. So go ahead and bend them and shake the booty a little bit. Now when you're ready, inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. And exhale, find that folds. Now with this breath, let's bring it up all the way. So big root, big rise. Reach up nice and tall. Reach through your fingertips. Push your hips forward. And exhale your hands right through heart center. Good. Now from here, let your hands fall right by your sides. Palms will face the top of your space. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Cultivating a grounding sensation with our grounding pose, our mountain pose. Notice your weight shift forward, shift back, towards the right, towards the left. Activating the core, the upper abs, lower abdominals by bringing that navel in towards your spine. And then slightly tuck your chin towards your chest. I just naturally have a little smile on my face this morning, so maybe bring a smile onto your face, some gratitude into your space. Be calm, be cool, be collected. And take this as a moment to know the wind's always going to be there, right? The gusts are always going to push you left, push you right, push you up, push you down. But you have this sturdiness for yourself. You have this stance. You have this ability to move with that, right? Instead of letting it knock you over, you move with it. So notice where your weight's going. Notice where you're going. Try to find some ease. Find some harmony here. One more deep breath in. And low breath out. Now when you're ready, find a breath in, reach up high. And then as you exhale, we deeply bend those knees, forward fold. Now we inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, walk it back to your plank pose. Left foot steps back, right foot steps back. Dome those shoulders, drive the heels back. Stay here, find that strength for 3. For 2, down dog on 1, nice job. Now from this downward facing dog, go ahead and hang out for a moment. Strong arms, strong legs. Crown of the head is heavy. Lift up through the back body, drive down through your heels. Good, let's find one more big breath in. And out. Now, right foot's going to go up nice and high as you find your inhale. And as you exhale, step in between the thumbs. We're going to drop that left knee and tuck our toes. Inhale, sweep your arms up nice and high. Open up that front body. And as you exhale, keep driving that front hip back. Encourage your back hip to pull forward just slightly here. Good. Now when you're ready, we're going to grab that block. So bring that block into both of your hands. I like to grab onto the edges of it. You're going to inhale, sweep up, up, up. Think little baby back bend. So use the heaviness of your block to not only pull your hands behind you, but allow you to lift up out of the chest, out of the lower back here a little bit. Steady breath as you gaze up. And then as you exhale, gently place the block back down. Tuck your back left toes, lift up your knee, wide-legged forward fold. So the toes are going to go left. And we end up at the left side of our mat here too. Using this for just a moment as we switch our sides. For today, I might encourage you to deeply bend your knees, shift your hips. Now we inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Right onto the back of our mat, so our left foot will be forward, and we're going to drop that right knee. Ooh, my lower back just popped. When you drop that right knee, inhale, arms up high. Stay here for a moment, see how it feels on this side. Always know you can kind of pull out of that low lunge if you need to. Giving yourself a moment to reach through the crown of your head. Soften the gaze, soften the shoulders. Allow breath to fill up your sides. And then grab that block when you're ready here. Again, remember, grab the edges so you're more so kind of just holding that weight behind you, right? So as you find a breath in, reach up, up, up. Now notice I feel like it forces you to find more of that lift, find more of that integrity through your side bodies. And then you still want to drop those shoulders away as you breathe into your right quad here. Push into the sole of your left foot. Gentle gaze for 3. For 2. Block, we'll plant on down on 1. Nice work. Tuck our back right toes this time. We'll lift up that knee and we come cruising right back through that wide-legged forward fold. Now from this wide-legged forward fold, plant your left hand and then inhale your right hand up towards the sky. So inviting that twist in. Your right hip's going to want to open up with that. So try to seal the outer edge blades of both of your feet as you feel your shoulders stack here. Gently switching that out. Right hand's going to plant, left hand's going to go up nice and high. Take a moment. I have to check myself every single time too. My left hip just popped up, so I want to bring it right back down. Good. Keep pushing through your bottom hand. Ground down into both big toes. Wonderful. Left hand comes down. Step back to the top of your mat. Right foot steps back to meet your left. We have 3 push-ups in our chaturanga, and that's the only thing we're doing today with that, okay, my friends? But shift the shoulders forward. 0 to 3 push-ups. I'm like, why did I say push-ups? Because now I have to do push-ups. Then find that chaturanga for the 4th round. Inhale, up dog. Keep the thighs lifted. And then exhale, back down dog. Nice job. Give me a breath. Try to reset here. Breath in, breath out. One more big inhale. And slow exhale. Now right foot's going to be on the move here again. As you inhale, right foot goes up nice and high. As you exhale, right knee to your nose. Inhale brings you back, 3-legged dog. Exhale steps you forward in between those thumbs, rising into your high lunge crescent pose. Take time here. You might even bring your hands on your hips. You can actually roll the shoulders away from your ears. Remember, you are allowed to use the width of your mat, so don't be scared to get low in this low lunge, right? Or in this high lunge, rather. Eventually, the arms will come up nice and high. Find your breath. Stay here as you exhale, nice and strong through your legs. Lift up that back left heel. And one more big breath in. And as you exhale, think modified pyramid pose. So hands will plant, you fold over, straightening right leg. Left heel is doing a lot for you here, so keep driving through the sole of your back foot. Now one more time, inhale, high lunge crescent pose. We're bringing this into a one-legged Tadasana when you're ready. So as you exhale, hands come heart center, left knee inside the chest. And I'm going to switch back just so you can see me here. So this is our balancing portion of our grounding flow, bringing you here, bringing you back to your center. I always say you have to be all in with these poses, because when you're not, we're just going to fall, right? Which is fine. If you fall, get back in. But you have to have your focal point here. Your breath, your body, your strength, your ease, your effort. It's here with me. If this is enough today, you keep fighting to keep that left knee lifted as you flex your left toes back towards your shin. If you want to add a twist to this, right hand outside of your left knee, left hand's going to sneak behind you. Do not feel you're okay. My neighbors are moving, so every noise Fielder must bark at, you know? He says, I'm going to bark, but I'm scared. I'm going to stay by my mama, too. Keep reaching through your hand behind you. That's your left hand. Big breath. Good. Come back towards center. Reach your arms up. Keep that left knee close towards your chest for 3. Maybe you extend that leg out for 2. And 1. Let it go. Nice job. Give yourself a moment. Pet your nervous dog. Get your hippies going. You know, all that jazz. Okay, good. Come back to the top of your mat. Breath in, we reach. Breath out, we fold. Now inhale, halfway lift. Exhale back just to your downward facing dog. Take your time. Now from that downward facing dog, gaze in between the thumbs. Bring yourself into that upward dog. So inhale, up dog. Skipping that vinyasa. And then exhale, back down dog. Good. From here, we'll find that left side as well. So inhale that left foot high. Exhale, left knee to your nose. You hover. Inhale, swings it back. And exhale, steps it through. Finding that high lunge crescent pose. We root, we rise. Sweep the arms up. Let the palms face one another. Find some calmness in your clarity. Be centered in this space. Power in your practice. Power in your presence. And when we are in a space that it's hard to be present because everything else is going on, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, whatever you want to call it, whatever resonates with you, sometimes it takes your presence away. So be here right now with your breath, with me in this pose. Big inhale. Exhale, modified pyramid pose. Might feel nice to shake out the head a little bit here. And when you're ready, inhale, rise up. We come back to that high lunge. As I always say, we break this down easy. Right knee inside your chest, one-legged Tadasana, you rise. We're in no rush. Stay here, find your center. I'm trying to be cool and look at the camera, but then I'm about to fall, so big breath in. Finding that twist when you're ready, left hand outside your right knee. Right hand goes behind you. You notice that left hand is on your right knee. Keep pulling it towards the midline. And then reach through that right hand behind you so you feel the you feel the shoulder blades expand slightly. So keep squeezing midline. Keep reaching behind. Here for 3. For 2. Come back to center on 1. Right knee stays lifted, lifted. Maybe you kick it forward. 3, 2. And fold on 1. Let it go. Nice job. Now from here, we're coming right down to our seat, nice and easy. Now once you find your seat, we're going to bring it right to our backs. Go ahead and grab a block here with you too. Scooch the booty forward just slightly. Allow yourself to rest on the mat beneath you. Feet can just gently plant on the mat and then bring your hands on top of your belly. Feel supported by yourself, by your structure. And just feel good about showing up, for practicing, for being here, for tuning in. Good. Now I got a twist coming up for us when we are ready. We're going to do a supine twist. So before we twist, just invite the knees inside the chest. Massage the lower back a little bit here. And we'll match this with an exhale. Your knees are going to go right. And then as you exhale, gaze over towards that left arm. You can either go out nice and long or you can cactus it too. Couple deep breaths as you open up your left lung. And maybe that right hand rests on top of the left thigh. Bring it on back towards center on that breath in. You might just pause for a moment, hug your knees close towards your chest. And as we exhale, we'll switch our sides right out. Knees will go left, gaze will go right. Right on back towards center. One more time. Give yourself one more final hug. You might even lift your head off the mat. Think nose towards the knees. Squeeze and compress with me for 3, 2. Let it go on 1. Release. Set up for your Savasana pose. Let's find one breath here just to center. So exhale what you have. And as you inhale, breathe it right back in. Fill up, fill up. And let it go. Find your rest here.
Now, I can't thank you enough for flowing with me, for supporting yourself with these practices, with these classes that we do together. I just genuinely, I'm very grateful for you and hopeful for our future together with our classes. So if you want to stay in your Savasana a little bit longer, I always encourage that. Tune me out. Stay just as you are. And if you're needing to start your day, end your day, whatever it might be, go ahead and find a nice easy seat here in the next breath or two. Moving nice and slow, staying in tune with your breath, with your body, with the energy you've cultivated. And eventually those hands will come right towards heart center. Take one more final breath in. And as you exhale, bow. Thank you all so much. As always, be back next week. And at the end of this month, I'll have our 2025 yoga retreat lineup all set. So if you've wanted to come practice with me in real life, maybe next year is our year to meet. And we're going to start busting out courses here too. So Yoga 101, creative sequencing, something about assists, like yoga assist we're going to do too. We have a really cute name for it. I just can't think of it right now. I think that's it, but I might as well. I always like to, when I remember, I pulled my card for the week. Today's Tuesday. I pulled my card for the week. I was like, what do we got? What do we got going on, you know? And this was what I needed. I actually love this deck because it comes with a writing prompt too, but the card I pulled says, close your eyes, put a hand on the heart. This is something for you, something for me, something for Fielder, I guess. He jotted right up. I rightfully create and set boundaries that protect and support my peace. I rightfully create and set boundaries that protect and support my peace. Okay, friends, see you next week.